question. If an applicant came up to you and asked you, what are you looking for in a renter? Would you be able to send them a clear written response right now? Most landlords can't, and that's a problem for you and for the good renters who want to know where they stand. Today I'm walking you through a simple template that will take around 15 minutes for you to complete. By the end of this video, you'll have your screening criteria complete and ready to share with potential applicants. Here's what I've learned from talking to hundreds of independent landlords. If you don't have written screening criteria, you end up reinventing the wheel every time someone applies. You forget to check the same things. You have awkward back and forth conversations trying to explain what you need from them. And honestly, you might miss a great renter because your process is just confusing to them. The flip side is also true. Good renters want to know what you're looking for. They want to be able to self-screen before they take the time to apply. They want transparency. And that's exactly what this template gives you, a clear, repeatable process that helps give you more confidence and helps applicants understand exactly what you expect from the start. And if you use Rent with Clara, we make it super easy for you to share some of this criteria directly on your application. First, let's get clear about what we're talking about. Screening criteria explains what you evaluate and what you require from applicants who are applying to your property. It can cover things like income requirements, credit history, rental background, and any automatic disqualifiers. It does not include anything related to protected classes, so race, religion, family status, disability, national origin, those are off limits, full stop. The key is consistency. You apply the same criteria to every applicant for that unit. This protects you and it's fair to renters. All right, let's build yours. Here's the structure we're using. So you're gonna have 5 sections, starting with your property profile. So basic information about the unit. Any kind of income requirements. So how are you going to evaluate affordability? Obviously credit and financial history. What are you looking for in the credit reports? Rental history. Are you going to be looking at past landlord references and their track record? And then finally, automatic denials or kind of gray areas. So clear yes or no lines and then case-by-case items. So grab a notebook or open the template using the link below. We're going to fill this out together using an example property and you can adapt it for your own rentals as we go on. All right, let's start with section 1, the property profile. So this information kind of gives context for everything else below. So let's write down property type. Is it a 2-bedroom apartment? Is it a single family home? The rent amount. So not only consider the monthly rent, but are you going to include any utilities in that? And then finally, maximum occupants. So this will definitely be based on your local occupancy laws. For this example, I'll say 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment in Austin. Rent is $1,800 a month. Tenant pays utilities, max 3 occupants. That's it. Now applicants know exactly what they're applying for and your criteria will make more sense in this context. Part 2, income requirements. So instead of just saying must have a stable income, let's get a little bit more specific. Here's what I recommend. Income rule. Most landlords will say that gross monthly income of all the adults in the unit must equal 3 times the rent amount. So for our example, if the rent is $1,800 a month, then our minimum income is going to be $5,400. What counts as income? So in our case, I'm going to count wages, self-employment income, pensions, benefits, anything like that. How do you verify it? So are you going to verify through pay stubs, bank statements, or offer letters? This is where if you use Rent with Clara, we actually can get direct connections to payroll providers or banks to verify that income. And finally, what if someone started a new job? In this case, I would say a new job is fine with a signed offer letter showing salary and start date. Section 3, credit and financial history. So this is where landlords get a little bit nervous. They're either too strict or they're too vague. So here's my balanced approach. For this example, I'm going to say preferred credit score is a 650 plus. With scores between 600 and 649, there'll be a case-by-case review. May require an additional deposit if that's allowed by your local law. And then for any scores below 600, I will say that they're typically declined unless there's strong compensating factors. Then you can call out any kind of specific red flags. So if someone has an active eviction case, you could say that would be a decline. If they have unpaid debt to a previous landlord, that could be a decline. Or if they have something like large unpaid utility bills, that could be something to review. Notice how we're not saying bad credit equals automatic no. We're saying here's how we're going to evaluate each situation. And here's the thing, Clara's verification tools help you see the full picture of the applicant. We pull verified data so you're not just looking at a credit score in isolation, you're seeing income stability, verified identity, and more. Section 4, rental history and references. So this is where you're going to look at an applicant's track record. In our template, this is what we're going to say we're looking for. So at least 12 months of positive rental history or proof of home ownership, no more than 2 late payments in the past year, no lease breaks without proper notice. And how we're going to verify it. So in this case, we're going to contact at least one previous landlord, and we're going to confirm rent, payment history, the length of stay, and the condition of the unit upon move out. Then you can write out your policy for first-time renters. So in this case, I'm going to say we accept first-time renters with a qualified cosigner that meets the income and credit requirements outlined above. So notice that we're not being harsh, we're being clear. And clarity is going to help good applicants feel more confident that they're a good fit. Section 5, automatic denials and gray areas. So for this example, some automatic declines might include falsified documents or information, any active eviction cases, income that's below that 3 times threshold, or any unpaid debt to a previous landlord. Some gray areas that you might review case by case. So a past eviction that's more than 5 years ago with some explanation, a recent job change but strong work history in the same field, or a lower credit score but 0 landlord debt and solid income. So you can include a statement like, we review gray areas individually and may request additional information if necessary. This shows that you're being fair, you're not robotic, you're looking at the full story of who this applicant is. All right, now that you've written that all out, here's how it works inside Clara. So every time you create an application within Clara, you're going to be able to add some of your screening criteria so that applicants can see this before they even apply. This means that renters can do that self-screening and kind of decide if they're going to be a good fit. You're not wasting your time on applications that don't meet your baseline, and everything's transparent, again, from day one. So whenever applications are coming in, Clara is helping you verify those details through our partners with payroll providers, bank connections, identity checks. You're not just doing all this manually, you're gonna see verified data that's backing up what the renters are self-reporting. So now you have a 5-part template for your tenant screening criteria that includes your property profile, your income requirements, your credit history and financial history, rental history, and then finally automatic declines in any gray areas. If you want a copy of this template, reminder that you can click the link below. You can download it, tweak it, plug it straight into your rental process. Thanks for watching. If this video was helpful, please hit like and subscribe to stay tuned for more landlord and renter tips. I'm Taylor from Rent with Clara. I will see you next time.